Okay, it seems I'm live. Okay, so yeah, I was late a few minutes. So we're just going to want to complete some settings here. Give me some time. The most important setting I want to do this time is to enable the slow mode. Last time, right? Everyone knows what happened. Things were not in the way we wanted, right? So we missed some of the questions because of this slow mode. So today I have made sure that I have enabled slow mode. I'm not sure, I can't see on the screen, but I just hope it is enabled. I'm also ready for your questions. So great. So welcome back everyone for another live session. Great. I can see a lot of people are watching this. Hit that like button, everyone, if you enjoy the live sessions, so that I can take this. I can do this very often. Okay. I just want to check on YouTube if everything is good. Okay, great. Sound is good. Let's continue now. So I'm just making sure we can take questions. So yeah, so I'll be taking your questions. There are some updates to give. Not exactly. So we have some more videos coming this week. Yeah, I know I've been late with the JavaScript series, but there have been some other work to also complete. But don't worry, I will try to finish JavaScript as soon as possible so that we can start with something else. Now, apart from that, I have some more thing to share. So this week, the entire week, I was doing. In fact, last 2 weeks, I have been upgrading the system from mic to monitor to the keyboard. Finally, I'm on the mechanical keyboard. I'm just trying it out. I'm not a big fan of mechanical keyboard, but I like the sound. Uh, so yeah, that's the thing. So things are going good. And the other desktop which I was working on, I wanted to upgrade its hard drive. The SSD card, it has around 250 GB for the C drive. Now I wanted 1 TB because when we edit videos, it's damn bulky, right? So we wanted to go for 1 terabyte. And I was just doing that. So before this session, before coming live, I was doing the setup. I've upgraded the SSD. I have installed Windows, and something went wrong. There were some issues with the drivers because it has certain hardwares which is not supported. So it has some issues, and that's the reason why I got late here. Okay, there's a question, what is a mechanical keyboard? Okay, that's a good question. Mechanical keyboard is where you have, okay, that's a good question actually. How do we define a mechanical keyboard? It behaves like you have the key goes well inside. It looks like a typewriter. I don't know exactly the working of it, but we call them as a mechanical keyboard. Uh, it's actually a gaming plus mechanical keyboard, so I can actually see lights here. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I should make a review of it. Again, this is a cheap one. This is from Cooler Master. It has multiple light options, but I'm not a big fan of lights. I just bought it because when I went for the shopping to get a new desktop, this is what I saw there. So I got it. Okay, cool. Let me take your questions. Okay, we need Selenium projects. Now, as I mentioned before as well, I'm not into testing and front end. I know you expect a lot from me, and I'm trying my best to give you the knowledge I have, but not in Selenium and front end. Okay. Cool. Okay. Julie says, I miss your live session in our college. Oh, I don't remember which college, but yeah, I do. Even I miss sessions in the college as well. So I used to do guest sessions in the colleges. I used to go for motivation sessions, but due to the current situation, I'm not able to do that. Okay. Cool. So now let me also share the invite so that we can connect one-to-one. So I'm sharing the link in the chat window. You can connect this. So next time, so on this channel. So I don't know if you have seen that join button, using which you can be a member. So you can support the channel by paying some monthly fees. I'm not sure what the fees was. It was around 49 or 149. I don't remember. But yeah, those, so you can be a member of this channel to support the channel. Now we have so many members on this channel, but I'm not actually providing any support to them, not even in terms of special videos. I wanted to, but I'm not getting enough time. So next Sunday, I'm planning to have a separate live where only members can join for the questions. Let's see. At least one Sunday we should do that. Okay, great. So we got 10 people already joined. So I will take you on this screen one by one. But before that, let me take some questions from this screen here. Okay. Okay, so there's Nitesh says, so just saw your dance video vlog channel. Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, for everyone, I do have a vlog channel where I post some of the videos. I'm just getting that. What do you think? What do you say? I'm trying to learn how do you do a vlog. So if you watch my current vlog, they are not that good. Okay, I hope Sai is there for session for the questions. Cool. So we got so many people. Let me just get Umair first because Umair joined at the start. So I hope Umair you're there. I'm adding you to the. Hi.
Hello.
Yes, Umair.
Yes, sir.
How
Yes,
are you
sir.
doing?
Currently I am doing Java courses.
Okay.
I am audible.
Yes, you are audible. Please go on.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I am currently doing Java courses and learning Java basics and Hibernate framework.
Okay.
Okay, sir. I have one of my friend who is already working on Java, but I
Mm-hmm.
studied sir BCA.
Okay.
BCA, sir. They told me go for MCA. Like you
Mm-hmm.
don't get more opportunity on BCA.
Right.
I pursued little bit good knowledge in Java, or I developed knowledge in Java. Good. So
Okay.
should I
So
go
your
for
question is,
MCA
should we
or
go for MCA or should I directly go
yes,
into
sir.
company, right? Okay, that's a
Yes,
very
sir.
common question actually. So when I was
Yeah.
doing my graduation, I had the
Mm,
same question. After graduation, should I go for masters? Example, you are doing
mm,
BCA, so MCA makes sense. When I did BSc IT, for me, MSc IT was
mm,
making sense. Uh, the thing is, if you look at the current situation in the market,
mm,
there are different kind of companies. Some company prefer skills over degree. So it doesn't matter what degree you have. Is it BCA or MCA? If you have good amount of skill set, that's enough for them. You don't need masters. You can directly jump into a company, whatever skill set you have, and you can get a job. But the thing is, most of the companies, especially in India, they are looking for people who have done their masters. So either they
mm,
are looking for engineers, BTech, BE, or they're looking for MCA or MSc. They're not looking for BCA graduates. So 3 year degrees doesn't have that much of what do you say? That much
power
of
now.
power. Yeah. So I
Okay.
think you should go for MCA if you are looking for big companies. But if you have a skill set in one of the niche technology,
Mm,
maybe if you are thinking about just a second. Yeah. So if you're thinking about let's say machine learning or blockchain or any
mm,
niche technology which you feel you're good at, then I don't think you need masters. Any company will hire you.
okay.
But the only thing is, after a few years, when you apply for, the further post, maybe you want to get into management, you want to be a team lead. Maybe at that point you need to uh, get your master degree. Maybe after that you can do MBA or MCA after a few
Should I go
years.
for corresponding
Uh,
with?
Not
I
at the
can start
start.
from a
Don't.
small startup.
Yes, you can do that. So you can join a startup. You can also do your corresponding MCA. That should be
It
good.
will not affect, na? For like.
Actually, that depends. From where you're doing correspondence. There are some universities which doesn't have that much of value. So before joining that university, do a proper research. There are some universities which are fake, which will not give you any value on the
Yeah,
certificate.
there is a one IGNOU which is recognized, na?
Yeah, IGNOU is recognized. Yeah, yeah. Do a proper research. I'm not sure about other good universities, but whichever university you apply for, do a proper research.
Thank you so
Does
much.
that make sense?
Sorry.
Does that make sense? I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Great.
Thank
Thanks for joining, Umair. All the best for your next job and masters.
thank you.
Great. Next we have is Dhanunjay. I've seen this spelling for the first time. Dhanunjay.
Hi, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Sir.
How are you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm good, sir.
It
So,
looks like you're chilling outside without
yes,
mask.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
So what's your question?
what is Java full stack, sir? It is a trending course, trending technology, sir. So,
So you're saying Java or JavaScript? Java, right?
Java full Java full stack, sir.
Okay. The thing is, let's understand what is full stack first. Full stack simply means you are the one person you who will be building the entire application from start to end, the front end, back end, database, everything. In fact, the middle tier as well. Now, when you are building the entire application, you should know all the technologies, right? For Java, the backend is Java. Database can be anything. It can be Oracle or MySQL. It can be even blockchain. The front end would be HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So when you say
Yes.
you are doing full stack, basically you need to know everything: the front end, the back end. Now, when you say Java full stack, it means Java is a back end, and in front end you don't have a choice. You have to go for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Right. So even if you say Java full stack, it simply means Java in the back end and other technologies in the front end. So
Okay,
the
sir.
best which is currently happening is React.js with Spring Boot.
Okay, sir. Sir, how to prepare any software company, sir?
It actually depends. So just to give a second, there is a super chat. Let me answer that first.
Okay,
Otherwise, I will miss it. And last time, we will be getting a new justice for Prakash. So let's do that question first. So there's a super chat from Prakash. Thank you so much. And the question is, sir, I'm from BCom. Okay, that is BC actually, a computer application background. I'm very much interested to learn Python. If I learn it, will I get a job? See, learning a language will not give you a job. You need to learn some technology. Maybe if you're learning Python, what's next? Maybe you can go for Django and you can build applications. Maybe you can master some Python library, maybe pandas, or you can go for machine learning. So if you are doing some application level work with a language which you learn, then you can think about a job. But learning a language is good, but it will not land you in a job.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Go on, Dhananjay. The next question was, how do you? So what skills you need to get a job, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you want to get into any company, first you need to learn at least one language, one programming language, and a framework. Maybe you can go for, let's say for Python, you can go for Django. For Java, you can go for Spring Framework. For you, if you are focusing on Java, go for Spring Framework in Java and React.js, which
Okay,
is
sir.
trending nowadays.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Great.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah, thank you, Dhananjay, and keep
okay,
smiling, which you don't
okay,
often.
sir. Okay.
Great. Okay, who's next? I can see we got Vandana Suryadev, but the camera is off, so I'm not sure if you want to be on the screen. And then we got Carlos.
Yeah.
Hey, hi.
Hello, sir.
Hey, hi. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. And you?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Okay.
So you are from where, Carlos?
Okay, I'm a Ghanaian living in France.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right.
Yeah, it's right. Carlos.
Oh, great. So before going ahead, there's a super chat, Carlos. Just a second. This is from Sahil Manoharan, and the question is, I want to learn web development. From where to start? For web development, again, it depends. You want to focus on the front end or the back end. For front end, I would say HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also you can learn maybe a library or a framework, maybe React as a library or Angular. That depends on your interest. For the back end, for a start, if you depend upon what language you know. If you know JavaScript, continue with that. If you know Python, try Django. If you know Java, try Spring Framework. And that's how you can be a web developer. It's quite simple nowadays. Yes, Carlos.
Okay, all right. So first of
Yeah.
all, I would like to say thank you very much for your channel. It's helping people like us who are now starting with the programming. In fact, I just started learning Python, and I'm using your
Oh,
channel.
that's awesome.
I'm using your channel, and it's helping me very good. But a friend advised me also that if I really want to see the practical aspects of it, I should go for Raspberry Pi. He mentioned one thing so that I can really see the practical aspect, because I asked, how do I really see the practicality of the code I'm writing? And then he advised.
Okay.
So I want to know, is he a good advice, or what will you advise me to do to really see how practical what
So
I'm
what
learning?
exactly you are learning? Python?
Python, yeah.
I don't think you need a Raspberry Pi to understand what is happening behind the scene, but that's a good experience you will receive. So I have not actually used Raspberry Pi, but that's one of the skills you can explore. But if you want to understand what you're doing and whatever you're learning, the first thing you should do is build a project. And there are some libraries, I don't remember the library names, but it will show you what is happening behind the scene. See, whenever you learn something, example, if you learn Java or Python, as a trainer, we teach you the syntax, we teach you what is happening behind the scene, but you can explore them by yourself, understanding some terms. What is virtual machine? What happens when you create a variable? What happens when you call a function? How the call stack works? So those things you can explore with the help of some libraries. Those libraries are used to monitor the application. It has something to do with the performance tuning. When you build the application, uh, after some time you have to improve the performance of it, and for that you have to understand how your application is behaving.
Okay.
So you can explore those libraries. I don't remove the names of the libraries now, but you can find it. Go to Google and search for Python libraries for performance tuning. You will
Performance
get it.
tuning.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then my second question is, since I'm a starter and I am getting interested in the programming and should I say IT? I don't know, but what would be the
Okay.
correct path of me? Or if I really want to get into the programming, what can I use it for? I've been asking those questions myself, and I don't really know. Like, there is so many things that is adding in my head right now. So I just want you to clarify if you can.
Yeah. What you wanted to clarify? I just missed it.
Okay. So as a starter or as a beginner, okay, programming is getting interesting. What do you advise for me? Like, next, should I add other programming? Do you have any particular path you advise that, okay, this path is looking really promising for the number of year coming, so go for that path? Like, that is my question, please.
See, if you are just starting, don't think about next 5 years or 10 years. Look at the current trend, what is happening, because see, what will happen in next 5 years, no one knows. Maybe Python will go away. Maybe there will be other language which will overtake everything. So as of now, focus on maybe one language. If you are thinking about Python, just continue with Python. The next step would be go for the web development, maybe Django, and explore some libraries like pandas, just for fun. And then you will realize what is something you like, and based on what you like, you have to continue with it. See, even if I suggest you with something and then if you don't like it, you will not enjoy it. I just want you to enjoy the technical world. So explore it by yourself, and whatever you like, just go with it. and don't think about what will happen in a long run. No one knows.
Okay.
Right? Just get started and complete whatever you're doing. So if you're thinking, hey, I want to go for Python, try to reach to a level so that you can go for the next technology, and focus only on one language now.
Okay.
If you're saying Python, go for Python. Stick to it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and thank you for your lessons. We are very good.
Oh, it's great. Okay. Thank you so much, Carlos, for joining.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Great. So before going ahead, I'm taking a break for 1 minute. I just got an important call. I should finish it. So I will be back in 1 minute. Okay, less than 1 minute. Hello. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that. I just had some important call. Cool. Who's next? So by the time we do that, we have another question here. Okay. The thing is, so we got a super chat from Dinesh, and thank you so much for Dinesh for the super chat. It's always helpful, as you know. Okay. There is one more super chat here which I just missed. So there's a super chat from Baba Rahul. Thank you so much, Rahul, for the super chat. And then we have a question on the super chat, which is from Coda Toaster. And the question is, I worked on Spring for 2 years. That's great. Now I'm switched to Linux Shell and Java, basically switched from web development to middleware. Okay. What is the future package wise and in general? What comes next for me? Basically switched from web development to middleware. Okay. So how what exactly you're doing in a middleware? I'm not sure. So what you can do is Coder Toaster. So mention that in the chat window if I miss it. But let me answer that. See, whenever you are into this Java world, there are so many technologies you can master. Now you were on Spring, now you're working in the middleware, which I'm not sure about as of now. But try to upgrade to the cloud as well. That's one thing you can do. And maybe if you are doing administrations, there will be some certifications which you can do. And it has a good package, don't worry. If you're working for MNCs, it will be having a good package for a long time. Not sure about the startups, because startups are moving away from Java. Okay, we got a super chat from Abhishek Singh as well. Thank you so much. These super chats are always helpful. Okay, who's next? Who should I take on this screen next? So we got Vandana here. Hi, Vandana.
Hi, how are you doing?
I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great.
Yeah, my camera position is on the other side. So
it's different, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so actually, I started programming from past 7-8 months. And since it's a master program and I'm doing my internship, so I was forced to learn so many things at the same time. So a bit of Django, DRF, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React, everything I am learning, but somewhere I'm feeling that I'm not getting the core of anything. So this is what in long term, because I know I have to be a programmer, because this is what my career will be. So I'm really confused the information are overwhelming in the internet, and to follow one resource, it's not possible because there's so many things to learn in parallel. So I just want to get some advice that how should I like manage all these learnings altogether.
Okay, that's a good point actually. But why you're learning so many technologies together? Is it because of the course which you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a master's course, so it's more than a bachelor's. And also, I'm doing internship in the company. So the company's project is like backend is DRF and the front end is React. So it's like
Okay.
altogether, I'm kind of forced to learn everything.
Is it the first time you are learning programming, or in bachelor's as well you have done?
I did my bachelor's in electronics.
Okay, no, that will be tricky. This is what happens when you jump into IT for the first time, that too in the masters. So the thing is, normally what happens, people who have done their bachelors in IT, then they move towards the masters in IT. For them, it is a continuous stream because they have learned a lot of things in bachelors, and now they're learning the advanced part in masters. The thing which is happening with you is you are learning from beginner to masters in the same year. It will be difficult, trust me. When you are learning a technology for the first time or any programming language, it takes time for your brain to wire it, because programming is different from the other things, right? There's something you can't actually see. You can only feel it. You can only imagine it. So I would say give yourself time in each technology. So maybe if you are doing your internship for, let's say, 6 hours, 7 hours, I'm not sure how much time you spend, take out 1 or 2 hours daily only to learn the basics. It's very important. It doesn't matter how advanced you learn. There will be always a gap. You will always feel, hey, what is this? This is something new. And there will be a gap in what you know and what is required. Basics is very important, which a lot of people actually miss, not just you. A lot of people, they jump into different technologies, they don't know the basics of it. And that's why they struggle. Technology, programming is very easy, provided you know the basics. So my recommendation would be take out some time, maybe in the weekend, and learn the basics of a language. Maybe if you are working on React, knowing JavaScript properly will be very important. So I'm not sure how well you know JavaScript.
I
Maybe the
know
basics
more
of
than basics, but not the very advanced one. Also, I
example
feel,
promises.
yeah, yes, those I know. It's like concept
Okay.
wise, sometime I feel that I know, but when it comes for implementation, my mind doesn't think that way.
Yeah,
This is
it's
the
it's very common.
problem.
It's very common. It's very common. Let me give you my example. When I was doing my bachelor's, it took me 3 months to understand how do I convert my requirements to the actual implementation, just to understand it. And then it took around next 2 months to build the project. Okay, it was a very basic projects. It takes time for the first time when you do it, but when you build your first project, when you know how do you convert what is required into code, then you will get the confidence. And it takes time. You just need to spend some time in programming. Maybe you can build small projects just to understand. So whatever you're doing now, whatever project you're working on, try to create a mini project out of it. That should give you confidence.
Many projects like any.
I mean, whatever project you are building in your master's or in your internship, so it will be a big requirement, right? So break it down
Yeah.
into small parts and build that project for yourself, not for the company, for yourself, just to get the confidence.
Okay. So
Okay,
I
and
should
one more
parallel.
thing,
Yeah.
and parallelly you can make that mini project. And one more thing, make sure that you maintain notes, and whatever you do, try to draw the diagrams on paper. Example, let's say if you're working on a front end and back end, and you are building an API in the back end. This is the API we have. This is the front end request you have to send. Maybe if you can draw that on paper, it will help you to imagine stuff.
Okay. Yes. This
Now,
is
since
where
we have
also I'm
spent so many
lacking.
years, yeah, because maybe I have done 10 years in the industry. Now I know what I'm doing. But when I started, I was not actually understanding how the request flows from the front end to the back end. How many APIs you have. Documentation will be helpful, but writing on paper would be more helpful.
Yes. Conventional way is always helpful.
Yeah, at least at the start, it's very important.
Okay, so I mean, like, in general, how much time should uh, a beginner take? Maybe in my case, to get into a pace where I feel that okay, I am I can be a good resource for the company or something. Because right now, it's internship. I am not liable for any of the work exactly. But if for joining as a software developer or junior software developer, how much time will I take? A year or so?
Uh, Technically, if you want to get ready for the industry, time is not something which you can measure. Some people take around 6 months, some people take 3 years, and that's a degree which you do, right, for 3 years in IT. It actually depends how much time it will take. On average, yeah, it takes 1 year to actually get into that zone. But
Okay.
that depends, Example, if you just want to focus on front end, maybe you can learn front end in 3 to 4 months and you can start building projects. Maybe you will not understand the things what is happening behind it. Maybe you don't know how things works in the back end. How do you deploy the project? How do you maintain a project? But you will know the front end. You can get started. And there's no specific point. I mean, no one knows a point where they will know, hey, I've done it. I can call myself as a developer or I can call myself as a designer. It all happens when you start doing stuff. Maybe someone has done the degree of 40 years. They still don't know they can actually work on the project. So
Okay, so
you
it
have to
depends.
test yourself. Yeah, so you have to test yourself. Maybe learn front end, maybe React JS, test yourself. Learn back end, maybe Java, test yourself. Not by giving exams, but by making projects. If you can do it, great, you have done it.
Okay. Okay, so I mean, this one-to-one conversation was really helpful. I mean, I always wanted this. So, and also thank you
Yeah,
for all your
that's
courses that you give, like in the YouTube.
oh, that's great. I just hope. In fact, you mentioned one-to-one sessions are very helpful. That's what I'm trying to understand. Is it really helpful coming one-to-one?
Yeah, it always
So,
helps. That's what, as I said, internet information are sometimes overwhelming, and we get lost in
yeah.
the information.
Yeah, on internet, actually, if you have a headache and if you search for the headache, Google will tell you you're going to die. So it's very common.
Yeah, maybe, possibly, yes. Okay,
Great.
sir.
Nice talking to you, Vandana. All the best
Same here,
and keep
sir.
working hard.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Bye.
Bye. Okay, that was great. Next, we have is Surya Dev. Hey, hi, Surya. I hope you're doing well.
Hello Naveen, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm doing very good. Just a
Yeah.
second, Surya.
Uh,
There's a super chat. I just missed it.
yes.
So this time, Surya Dev, what happened last time? I don't know if you were there last time for the last streaming last week in the live
Uh,
session. All right.
no, no, I was not in the live session last week.
Okay, so Sai Teja is a person who asked me a lot of questions by giving super chats. He has spent around 800 rupees to get the answer. So this time I'm making sure that I will get all the super chats. So sorry for interrupting you. Just let me just finish the super chat and we'll continue.
Yes, yes, no problem.
So there's a question from Shrikant Bhosle. Thank you so much for the super chat. And the question is, my son just finished his 10th grade. Oh, that's great. And he is learning Python. He likes coding. Everyone does nowadays. What's the best academic path he can take? He needs to take now. Now, see, the thing is, that's a great thing that your son is learning Python. Awesome language. But you have to really understand, does he really love the language or is it a friend pressures? And what happens nowadays, in schools, everyone talks about what is something they can do together, and they feel, hey, let's do coding because a lot of people are learning coding and they are getting a lot of money. They are learning a lot. So first, you have to understand what is his perspective towards learning a coding language or coding in general. And next, if he really loves coding, is it only passion or he loves the ecosystem? See, getting into technology is not just about a language, it's about the ecosystem. Is he ready to learn the entire ecosystem? That's the next question. If it's only about a language, make sure that he works on some, maybe learn the language Python, work on some libraries, maybe build the application, a website application, or some library implementation. That's something he can do. Apart from that, if he feels that he just want to learn the entire ecosystem, how do you build a project, how do you test a project, how do you make mobile applications, it's time to explore everything then. So with the college, after of course, with the junior college, he should be also be learning some tech stack, maybe Python, front end technologies, and maybe mobile development, just to understand what he likes more. That's one thing you can do. But at this point, make sure that he learns Python and maybe Django for web development. And you will find the Django videos in the playlist as well on the same channel. So I hope that was helpful. Okay, and I will take this question sometime, Dinesh. Okay, so that was, oh, that's great. You got a job. Awesome, congratulations. This 40 rupee tip will not be enough. Maybe a cup of coffee someday. Great. Suryadev, please
Yes.
go on, your question.
Yes, sir. So I am a 2020 pass out. I am currently
Okay.
working in Cognizant as a fresher.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I work on a tool called Labware Limbs. I don't know whether you have heard it or not. Do you know anything
So which one?
about Labware Limbs? Because most of the people I tell about Labware Limbs, they say that I have never heard of it.
It's a PHP framework, right? If I'm not wrong, Laravel. Is it the
It's a
same one?
laboratory inventory management system. It's a tool that pharma
Oh, not
companies
sure.
use. Yes,
Not
it's
sure.
basically I'm basically in product support.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to shift to cloud. I am means I am halfway into doing the AWS Solutions Architect course.
Okay.
Can you tell me like how to go about getting a job after completing the course, and will it be easy for me to get a job after doing the certification?
Actually, it depends, what type of company you are applying next. But once you have a certification, it gives you an edge over others. So some people they just learn things and they don't get certified. But doing AWS certifications will be helpful for the cloud. And the only problem which I have is you have already joined Cognizant, right? Now, jumping
Yes.
from Cognizant to different company, there will be a question why you're jumping, and then
Yes.
Cognizant will give you will they allow you to leave the company? So those
I
are the
do not have
questions.
I do not have a bond. I'm
Okay,
in July. I'll complete 1 year in Cognizant.
okay, okay.
Uh, So I don't
So it
think
should be easy.
jumping.
If you don't have a
Yes.
bond, then after spending 1 year in Cognizant, when you jump to different company, you should have an edge because now you have a certification, and second, you have experience working for a big MNC. So it should be easy.
Yes. But Naveen, I'm changing to a different domain. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm asking, that in the interview of the company that I will be giving, so I cannot
Right,
mention anything that I did for Cognizant that will help me. I did not do anything related to cloud or
right,
AWS in general. So
right.
that's what I'm
So
asking.
you'll be treated as a fresher then.
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, what you can do is you can do some case studies for the cloud to showcase your skills in the cloud. Because see, of course, you can't work on production softwares sitting at home, right? So you can do some case studies on cloud. There are some case studies available. I'm not sure the names again. Uh, Search for case studies on cloud and try to understand them. And in the interviews, you can showcase the knowledge you have about different architectures. It's all about proving yourself. So when you go for the
Yes.
interview, of course they will give you a chance to speak. In that 1 or 2 minutes, you have to showcase how much you know and how much you can be valuable to that company. So it doesn't matter what you did before that. What's important is in that 2 minutes, can you convince them that you have the skill set so that you can challenge anyone uh, who is coming for the interview.
Yes. Should I learn Linux and some scripting language along with it?
Yes, that will be important. The moment you name cloud, knowing
Yes.
Linux administrations, commands is very important.
Yes. Okay.
So
So
those are
yes,
some
thank
things
you,
which
Naveen.
everyone expect. It's something like you should know Linux. There should not be a point. There should not be a question. Do you know Linux? The answer should be always
Yeah.
yes. I mean, you should know Linux.
Okay. Yes. Thank you,
Yeah, great.
Naveen. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, same here, Suryadev. Keep watching the
Thank you.
videos. Bye.
Yes.
Okay, we got a super chat from Shravanti, and the question is: I'm in first year BTech. That's great, and love coding. I'm confused which minor to pursue. Is cybersecurity, ethical hacking good, or what are the options? There are thousands of options. You are in your first year. The moment you look at your subject itself, you can get multiple options. But yes, ethical hacking has a great future. Uh, of course, cybersecurity was important, will be important. If you have internet, you need cybersecurity. It's as simple as that. But yeah, so it's good. The only thing is, are you interested in cybersecurity? That's a question. Every field is interesting. You can go for machine learning, you can go for IoT, you can go for cloud, you can go for Android development, you can go for the blockchain. What's important is, are you interested? Example, I was interested in distributed computing. In securities, I went to blockchain. If someone is excited about maths, they're excited about machines, they're excited about AI, they're into machine learning. Someone is excited about mobile applications, they're into mobile development. It depends upon what you want to do in your life. So it should be good. Ethical hacking should be a good option. We got a next super chat from Abhishek, and the question is: can you suggest some Spring projects to get an idea of the level that is expected from a fresher? It's not actually Spring project per se. It's about the flow of the project. If you want to prove yourself, try to mimic a project. Maybe building your own Amazon using microservices. So build Amazon website using microservices, using different Spring projects, and you should be good. That's how you can prove yourself. Okay, stream link. So today we have a short session. In next 15 minutes we are ending it. So we already have some people here waiting for me to join. Okay. Next we have is Shivam. Shivam is all set to come live. Yeah, hi
Hello.
Shivam.
Hi, I am audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, currently I'm working in TCS. Okay, and I am having 1 year of experience, but I'm
Okay.
working into a support project, a banking support project. Here, my role
Okay.
is the role of system administrator, but I have done Python in my graduation, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting that much of project into TCS.
Okay.
So how could I make my shift into another project? I also like DevOps too.
Okay. It's very normal, Shivam, in the industry. If you look at most of the service-based companies, most of them have support projects, right? And when they hire, there's a 70% chance that you will get into a support project. And then the development options are very less. So the first thing you can do is talk to your manager uh, about what you want to do in the company and see if there's any role he can provide you. Next is in every company there's a policy of jumping in different projects. So if you can see that if you can jump to different project, I'm not sure if TCS have. Of course, it should have that option of jumping around different projects. There is a formal way of doing that. So maybe talk to your manager, talk to your HR, and try to get into that. Try to get the project in development. If not, the best thing would be to jump. The more time you spend in support, if you don't enjoy it, you will lose your programming skill. If you don't touch, if you don't code for maybe 6 months, it will be difficult to come back.
Yeah.
So
I'm facing that
talk to
issue.
them and try
Hmm.
to jump. Otherwise, out of the company.
Okay, thank you. And could you tell me the overview of DevOps? That what DevOps actually is and what kind of things are been in DevOps
Okay, so the
and
thing
development?
is,
Hmm.
DevOps is all about one person or team of people who can do both development and operations. See, in the earlier days, it was more about different teams working on development and different team working on a production server. So someone else will develop it, someone else will deploy it, and there will be a huge communication gap. To solve that, we have one team who can work in development, who can work, I mean, the single team will do development and operations as well. So it's a combination of dev and ops, development or operations. It's basically a culture, not exactly a role. It's a culture which company follows nowadays. Uh, so maybe building an application. So you as a programmer, you will build the application, you will test the application, you will deploy the application, you will use CI/CD to send your
Okay.
code from development machine to the production server. Entire
Okay.
thing by one team. That's a culture basically. To learn that, you need to learn a language. You need to learn some testing skills. You need to learn containerization, maybe Docker, maybe
Okay.
Kubernetes for orchestration, and cloud for deployment.
Okay. I have hands-on on Selenium too.
Oh, that's great. Then you
Selenium.
have two things, coding and
Okay.
testing. Next would be learn Docker and learn CI/CD
Okay.
if you're
Okay.
interested in
Thank you.
DevOps.
Mm.
Yeah,
Thanks. It was
great.
nice talking to you.
Same here, Shivam. Keep
Mm.
smiling. Okay. Why don't people smile in front of camera? I know it's weird to smile in front of camera. Uh, Ranadeep is smiling. We'll take you, Ranadeep, in some time. But before that, we have Chandrakant. Hey, hi, Chandrakant.
Hello, sir.
I just love your backdrop.
Thank you, sir.
जुगाड़ इसको
This
बोलते हैं.
jugaad, jugaad. Yes, sir. Awesome.
Cool.
Sir, my question is, sir, how I connect
Yeah.
a Excel datasheet to Word? Means I create report manually in Word file.
Sorry, can you repeat your question? I just lost it
Sir,
there.
actually, sir, I'm working on self-made project. That's lots of data
Okay.
entries in Excel sheet. Sir, after that, total of
Okay.
calculations like a salary, then I need
Hmm.
to add that data in Word again. So every time I
Okay.
switch, but I want to create in mini software in Python and with a good GUI. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So how I connect that data, Excel sheet data in Microsoft Word?
Good question. Good question. But I've not done that
Yes, sir.
before. There should be some libraries. For Java, there's a
Yes,
library.
sir.
If, today I'm for,
Java, sir.
yeah, for Java, there's a library. For Python also, there should be a library.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I forgot the library name for Java as well. I have worked on that a long time back. But for sure, there will be a library which will help you to connect Excel and Microsoft Word. In fact, Microsoft itself will have some way to connect it. Maybe they'll go micros or something.
Yes.
Not sure. Not sure. Not done that before.
Okay.
Have
And
you
sir,
done Google search for it?
yes, sir. But this means if I search for headache, it will show you can die. Like that. I
Right.
don't get proper answer.
Okay. Even I'm not sure. Let me just check if I can search for some tool which you can connect MS Word and uh, Excel. If I can do that, I
Yes,
can
sir.
make a video on it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It will help for me. And also, sir, another question, sir.
Yeah.
Like I want to change in a document file in particular name. Just like I remove one of employee, then I want to change the name in lots of other document file that I save in different folders or means or in the
Mhm.
same folder. So
Okay.
there is any library file or Python or any command that can I change in file, not
Mhm.
in the particular paragraph.
Right. Not sure. Again, it's all about file handlings in
Yes.
Python then. It's all
Okay,
about
sir.
external libraries. Not sure.
Sir, then how I create that software by myself? Only with Python or any other languages?
I mean, you can do with any language. The only thing is, if that language is a library, Python should have a library because it's very famous. So it can be done with Python. It can be done in Java because these are the languages which has a lot of desktop level libraries available. So it should work in Python as well because Python is very famous for the scripting as well. So there should be a library.
Okay.
You have to search for the library first.
Yes, sir. And if I want to make that software with a login ID, and then how I do with the web-based application or anything else?
If you want to have a login and if it's a desktop software, you can still do it. If you want to deploy it, then it should be. If you want to deploy it, then it should be a web application.
Okay. And what about R language? How I connect Python and R? Means for that database. Or I create
But why you
myself
want
SQL.
to?
Yes.
Why you want to use R there? For?
They're just asking because for creating data
Yeah.
set. Creating data
Okay,
set,
for data
nothing more.
sets, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you can there are cross language libraries available. So you can connect Python with R, Python with Java using some libraries. Again, it's all about libraries. So go to Google and search how do you connect Python with R. You can call the Python functions with the help of R language. You can call C function using Python language. They are all connected with libraries.
Yes. Yes. And sir, how I build good quality of GUI?
For
With
Python, you can
Figma,
try Thinker.
Thinker. Okay. And means sir, I watch a Figma website, but
Okay.
it's just like copy paste. I need to create it manual.
Figma, I've not checked it. Let me check that. Figma. Okay, so it's a drag and drop graphics.
Yes.
For desktop, you can try Thinker. That should work in Python.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, try that out. Yeah, great. There's a question. There's a super chat. So, by the way, thank you so much, Andakant, for coming live. And let me just try to get some libraries for file handling in Python, maybe with MS Office. We'll check that.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a super chat from Sai Teja. The question is, finally, Sai Teja is happy. But is it the same Sai Teja which was there earlier? There are so many Sai Tejas available. Can I come live? Have one more question. You can come live. You can find the link. The thing is, today we have a short live. We only have 8 more minutes. So let me get. We have 2 here remaining. Balaji and Ranadip will take that, and then we are done for today. Okay. Hi, Balaji.
Naveen, just to ask, I am working as a cybersecurity professional. Currently working.
Okay.
Currently, I'm using Splunk, a tool called Splunk. We use for log analysis purpose. In Splunk, it is uses like a database query. Normal a database, how we use select query. Likewise, we have to use a Splunk query to analyze a log search. I am just working on to automate those things in a real time scenario. In my company, they use automation tools very well. So if I try to use that Splunk query directly into the Splunk, it will create a log. It will automatically mail that log to the particular user. Like for example, security team needs that particular info. We get it from that log server directly to mail server without going into the Windows. My question is, I am working on the Splunk queries. So whether if we need any more programming tools like Java or Python or cloud, it may be any helpful for that part of thing.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not sure about this Splunk query. For next time when I go live, I just have to mention one disclaimer. I don't know all the technologies, so if you have a question which I don't know about, I will simply say no, I don't know about it. I know it's difficult to answer that, but yeah, so I'm not sure about this Splunk query, so I'm not even sure how that technology works, how that framework works. So this is something I have to Google search, and I mean search will not work here. So
yeah.
you talked about Splunk, right? Splunk tool. The question is, can I use different languages here?
Yeah, it is majorly used in current, in all companies almost they use this tool.
But this for what? Yeah, this is for monitoring and searching, analyzing the machine generated data. Okay.
All sort of purpose we can do it through that tool itself. So normally
it's a good tool, yeah.
We use another tool called Snot. Snot, in Snot we use log analysis. For that we use that Splunk. Thoroughly Splunk we use log analysis.
Okay. And your question is, can I use different languages here?
Yeah. programming languages such as Java, Python, or any other language?
If it has APIs to share, of course we should be. Okay, Splunk says it allows you to accept any data type like JSON and log formats.
Yeah, even JSON can.
It should.
In my people, they have used the JSON also. That's why if I need to learn JSON, it will be useful for me, right?
Right, right. I need to check about it. Never worked on Splunk Pro. So what I will do is, let me just take the notes. Next time I will be ready with this level of questions. So one was with the Splunk, and one was, the earlier one was what? The log files. What file? What is Python? Okay. So what I'll do now, Balaji, I will just look at Splunk, and then maybe next time I will be ready to answer that question.
Yeah.
At this point,
thanks.
I'm not. I don't have any idea.
One more industry question. Just if
Yes.
if a beginner comes to the industry, whether he or she should think the industry far behind the, like what to say, if currently blockchain and machine learning are far away,
Right.
and AI, including AI, what he or
Right.
she should think of the future, whether it will be in AI or machine learning or in any other higher level languages like
The
these.
thing is, most of the technologies are already there. It's just that the quantity is less. Example, if we talk about Android, if we talk about web development, it's very popular. The other technologies will take some time for the companies to implement, maybe AI and blockchain. They are there, but not for all the companies. But by the time they will join, so it takes maybe 1 year, 2 years to actually understand how industry works. So for 1 or 2 years, you just have to go with the companies, whatever they are talking about. If what's the requirements they have. If they say, hey, you have to work on Java, work on Java. If they say you have to work on Selenium, you have to work on Selenium. In that 1 or 2 years, you have to understand how industry works, and then you should start focusing on the new technologies. At this point, AI is getting a lot of popularity. Blockchain also should be a good option. Or you can try out IoT as well.
I have somewhat experience. I have already worked with IoT and blockchain, but I am thinking of the. I try to learn this AI again.
Okay.
I am a B graduate, and I am as you know, I have told that I am working with cybersecurity. But in case of a change, whether I can took AI or any other blockchain or machine learning, what is your point of view on it?
So the good thing is these technologies, right? You have actually seen them, at least maybe in the basics, in terms of basic, blockchain, IoT, AI now. First, you have to understand what you like. Do you like working with embedded systems? Do you want to do you like working with data, or do you like working with AI? So based on what you like, you should continue. So if you keep aside what's the future, think about what you love. And whatever you love will have a future. Blockchain will have a future. But do you like it? That's important. If you like it, just continue with that. So my funda is very simple. Do whatever you like, and provided it has some future, of course. Let's not rank the technologies. No one will say, hey, machine learning is on top, blockchain is second, IoT is third. Let's not rank the technologies. What's important is, do you love the technology which you are learning now? That should be enough.
All the best for your YouTube career. That's what I can say.
Thank you so much, Balaji.
That's all. Thanks.
Okay, great. And someone is saying I missed a lot of super chats. See, I am doing my best to get all the super chats on the screen. It's difficult to actually answer the questions and talking live to audience and then picking up the super chats. But I'm very sorry about that. I'm just trying to get as many as possible. Next time I will have someone with me sitting there just to check all the super chats. So we got a super chat from Ashwin Kumar, and the question is, hello sir, how are you? I'm doing well. Now I'm interested in to learn machine learning. That's great. Just tell me, where should I start with? and what technologies are required for this. Fish when I wish to learn with Python. Okay, so first you need to learn Python. Of course, it's very important. Next, refresh your maths skill. Refresh your maths skills, and from where to get started, I would say start with Andrew NG course on YouTube. Then you can just go with it. Go with it. There are so many courses available online nowadays. It creates a confusion from where to learn. So start with Andrew NG. It's very famous on YouTube, and you can. I guess he has its own platform as well. So it should be a it should be your first choice. So Python, maths, and Andrew NG course, and you should be good to go. That will be start. Okay, it will not be end. It will be a start. Okay, next question from Hari. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. And the question is, BTech Triple E 2014 pass. Till now, I have prepared government jobs. Now I want to go for software. Which domain, front or back end or language? Again, which one to go for? That depends upon your interest. If you are a creative person, go for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you are someone who loves logic, go for backend. Okay, great. Next, we got a new member. Thank you so much for being a member of this channel. Okay, Nikhil Sharma says my super chat. Again, I missed it. So if you can post your question, Nikhil, just take it here. So we got a last interaction here today with Ranadeep. Yeah, hi.
Hi, sir. Hi, I'm a 2021 passed out from EC branch.
Okay.
I got two jobs. One is from Wishworks and another is from Accenture. Company which Wishworks will deal on MuleSoft, Big Data, and Salesforce.
Okay.
And Accenture, it has multiple options. And for fresher, I don't know which career will they give, in what domain they will give. I'm now confusing to choose what option. I mean, which company to join.
It's easy. Flip a coin.
No, like if you start with.
Yeah, I know. I understand your point.
And also,
see,
I do not have. I'm from EC background, and also I do not have much hands-on on Java. I have, I mean, with my self-interest, I have learned Python, and also have some interest to go in the stream of data analytics in future. So I'm confused. Like in Wishworks, it is dealing with big data and Salesforce parallel to MuleSoft. So I think I'm thinking that I will have some opportunity in future, but I'm confused. Like most of them people are telling to join Accenture because it's an MNC. Will have much better experience there.
See, the only problem which I see with most of the MNCs is they don't give you the profile. When you join the company, when you go there day one, then they will tell you what you are going to do. Will you get a project which will be development, or will you get a support project, or will you be on bench? I've seen a lot of people sitting on bench just like that. That's one of the issue which I have with Accenture. Not just with Accenture, with every service-based company. I have been to a lot of service-based companies as a trainer, and I've talked to a lot of my trainees there. Some of them are happy because they are working for a big company. They are getting payout every month. But then what exactly you're doing there? Are you working on a project? That's great. Are you sitting on a bench? That will affect your career as well, because after 2 years, when you switch to a different company, the next company will not ask you from which company you're coming from. They will ask you what projects you have done. They will not hire you because of the company you were into. They will hire you based on your skill set. Now, the good thing about the company which you mentioned, other one, which is they provide you MuleSoft and all the technologies.
Yes.
The only thing, again, it's a great thing they have mentioned the technologies, and they are great technologies as of now. But then there are proprietary softwares. The future is open source.
Okay, I mean, I don't have any idea about MuleSoft, so that's what I'm asking. Should I join MuleSoft or should I go with Accenture?
again, tricky question because I don't want to give you a wrong advice. I just want you to think about it. Do you want to get into a company where you don't know the profile? It will be a lucky draw. Okay, you will be
Yeah.
getting a project, or you will be on a bench, or that project would be a support project. If it's a support project, if you don't enjoy it, you will hate your life for few months. Okay, because it takes time for you to get adjusted to the support projects. Apart from that, the other company, the technology like MuleSoft, Salesforce, they're great at this point. I'm just not sure about the future of it because they are the proprietary softwares. I'm not sure about the MuleSoft, is it proprietary, but they are closed
It
projects. So,
recently Salesforce bought the MuleSoft. Salesforce brought the
okay,
MuleSoft software into the.
okay. So what you can do, Randeep, go to LinkedIn and search for people who work on MuleSoft and talk to them. I know a lot of people will not answer your query. Even if one person answers your query, that will be helpful. And ask them the future of MuleSoft. Since I have not worked on it, so I can't give you right advice. But if someone has worked on MuleSoft for a few years, they know what is MuleSoft and is it have a good future. But
Okay,
for me,
thank
I
you.
just want to tell you one thing: proprietary
Mm.
softwares don't have a good future. It's all about open source in future.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
great. All the best, Radhit. And here we go. Next question is from Nikhil Sharma. A medical student with basic knowledge of Python and maths. Please tell me how to learn ML. I'm very interested. So once you know maths and once you know Python, that means your basics are clear. Then go to YouTube and search for Andrew NG and start with the course. Once you complete the basics, you will understand what to do next. It's difficult to have a longer roadmap. This is what I will do now. This is what I will do next. Start with the basics, and then you will get to know what to do next. So that's it from today. We already crossed 1 hour. Maybe I will try to do one more live session this week. I'll just try to. And that's it. Enjoy your weekend, whatever's remaining, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Let me in the comment. Let me in the chat window if you enjoyed, and hit that like button. See you in the next live.